Hi guys, my name is Shai. This is my good friend Sean. We're both chefs at the Third Space, Old Fort Ward. As I was saying, it's really, really important that we know where our food comes from and what we feed our guests, what we feed our family, what we consume. Therefore, today's dish is really, really simple. It's a braised mushrooms that we're gonna top with some sample. The one item I do repeat constantly is hummus. Hummus for me is home, so it always somehow it finds its way on my menus. But I constantly top it with different things. Today will be mushrooms. We have some of our mushrooms that came from the farm, and we have some of our mushrooms downstairs, I believe, by the mushrooms. I was told to say that. Um, I want you guys to like feel free if you guys have any questions on what we're doing and how we're doing. Please feel free to ask anything and enjoy the show. We're starting with some minced garlic, around the 2 cloves. We have a whole Vidalia onions, julienne, some oil on the pan, and we're gonna saute our onions first. If you noticed, I start my heat relatively early. I like my pans to be like hot before I start heating with stuff, because if not, not only that it's gonna stick, it's not gonna give us the flavors that we want to achieve from the vegetable or the fruit or the protein that we're gonna be cooking. Next, we're gonna start processing our mushrooms. The mushrooms will be separated to three parts. There's the stalk part that there's two parts in it. Every mushroom stalk has more fibrous and less fibrous. So I would use longer braises, longer cooking methods, even a pressure cooker on those parts, and then maybe process it another time after we're done cooking that. This one, for that part, still can be applied and used, almost treated as an onion. It needs a little bit longer than the actual flour. The flour is the softest, so we're gonna use that last. So I start with my onions. What I'm trying to achieve is dark flavors. As my onions go, like my grandma taught me, season when the pan is hot and oily. So I go with a little bit of pepper, a little bit of cumin, and some salt. What it also does, it releases a lot of the juices and the waters from the onions. I'm not trying to caramelize it. I'm just trying to like sweat it. I want to reduce that onion a little bit. Once I see that I'm starting to get like a little bit of water collecting on the bottom, I go and I drop my garlics. My next move gonna be the upper. Please. Yeah, yeah. No. Cube that. As my garlic onion seasonings are going, I like my food a little spicy. Always add like a little bit of chili. Can be diced, can be sliced, whatever you feel like. For me, flavor is flavor. Everybody watch Sean. He's gonna kill me later. Does anyone have any questions? Say no. So stocks are in. No, Julian. So as they go in, I let it sit for a little bit, and then I'm gonna do a little deglaze once the heat builds up. Yep, we're still on. Once the heat builds up, I want to do like a little deglaze. I want the sugars to pop out. What I have here is water with a little bit of lemon juice that I put inside. This could have been so much faster if I brought mine. That's steam. Now we let it sit for a little bit. Once I see that everything kind of uniformed, wilted a little bit, reduced some liquids out, we're gonna add the rest of the mushrooms. And then from that point, we're gonna let it cook. And as we let it cook, we're gonna start plating our tasting hummus. Yes, chef? Yeah. The end result should look something like that. So long, 40 minutes, give and take. Also depends on the heat. With mushrooms, I don't like to go on too high. I like to start really, really high and then slowly lower the temperature. And of course, I forgot a lid. Lid would help. Um, but you don't want it to lose the flavors. You want to retain the flavors. We're gonna add a little bit of liquid as well because it's like a sponge. It soaks everything. And then anything you go with it, like you can do like a rice bowl and then top it with something like that, or you can do like a pastry, a puff pastry, and fill this up, the pastry, and bake that in the oven. It'll be amazing. Or a sauce. Sometimes we make like sauces out of it. Vegan, if you do like a vegan and you want to look for the umami, you go a little darker on the mushrooms to go a little deeper on flavors. How often I use what? I don't use soy sauce. I'm sorry. I failed you. I'm more of a Mediterranean cuisine. Um, I used to use a lot of soy sauce in my travelings. I worked in Thailand for a minute, and I have a, you know, versatile knowledge. But soy sauce is not something that it's pronounced in my kitchen, unfortunately. Maybe I should. Yeah, that would be amazing with that. Yeah, 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 yeah. Fish sauce too, like there's a lot of cured salty sauces that we can go. Give me hummus plates, please. Any allergies in the house? Peanuts. No peanuts. I only use olive oil. Hmm. We only use olive oil, cold pressed, preferred. Something that is like non-processed. Yeah. And then pass it. Problem with olive oil, it's the same issues we're having with tahinis nowadays. They're being processed in a hyper machines and they create a lot of frictions. Those frictions create bitterness in those oils. So when you eat them, consume them, they just have a different flavor on it. That olive oil is actually Greek and cold press, super flavorful. Yeah. I'm from Israel. We also have very similarities in those olive oils. So we're getting the color we wanted. At this stage, usually that's where I'm gonna go on like a lower flame and a little bit more liquid. And just let it kind of braise all together. This is my lemon water. It's the only water I brought. Sorry. So sorry. So to that example, we do a little bit of a hummus and then top it with some mushrooms and then top it with some whipped tahini, lemon juice, olive oil, and garlic. Olive oil drizzle and a pita. Boom. Perfect. On the plate. Yep. Thank you, sir. You guys are welcome to enjoy. Please. Yes. That will be incredible, sir. No bread. No problem. Shrooms. I'm sorry? The way I make my hummus is we soak the garbanzo beans overnight. Once soaked, we rinse them very well. We bring it to a boil and we skim all the foam out. Once all the foam stop extracting from the beans, we strain it again, rinse it again very well, and then we bring it back to the pot. From that point on, it's approximately 3 hours of a low simmer. After 3 hours, we add onions, chilies, and garlic into the pot. 40 minutes with the lid closed. Once 40 minutes hit, turn it off. We let that chill. So this is my chickpea base. After that, we grind that and season. Our seasoning is very simple. It's cumin, lemon, and salt. That's it. Here's the magic. The tahini has to be good. There's a lot of tahinis that will taste bitter because of what we just spoke about. The tahini needs to be a third of the recipe. So after my seasoning chickpeas are grounded, I add my tahini to that. And if I heat the chamber, if the Vitamix or the Robocoop, whatever processor you're using, is too hot, add some ice. Chill it out. You don't want the tahini to switch flavors. And then taste and fix to your flavor. But that's what this is. Yeah. Sharpie? Questions? Thank you. Anybody wants more? We gotta finish this. Trumpet and oysters. Yes. Onions. That's the onions. Yeah. You want to taste it? The third space is a space where you come to chill out. It's not where we spend all our lives. Where we come to like get our thoughts together, bring ourselves back. And my restaurant is like that. You mind if I get a serving? Here you go. Yes. Thank you guys so much. Me? Turkey. I'm half Turkish. So we used to travel a lot to see family and visit.
So guys, let's put it together for Shai. And for Sean. And Shai's restaurant is located on the Beltline next to the ABV Gallery, which is also next to Glide Pizza. Stop in on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday night, sit down, eat like family. This guy's the greatest host I've ever seen in any Atlanta restaurant, and obviously his food and hummus, it's pretty awesome.